And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump is now winning the national polling aggregate. According to Nate Silver's forecast, based on the current numbers we are seeing, Trump has a 92% chance to win this election. Albeit in his forecast, he says Trump has only a 52% chance of winning because he doesn't care about polls. The question he proposes is, what will the popular vote margin be? And if the popular vote margin is 0 to 1 in either direction, Trump wins. So, okay, do polls matter? I don't know. But the betting markets are certainly saying Donald Trump is facing a major victory, and everybody's putting their money on it. So let's take a look at this. From Newsweek, they say, who is winning the election? Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump polls 10 days out. Well, there is no metric by which mathematically you could say Kamala Harris is winning. Thank you and have a nice day. I seriously mean it. Trump's winning in aggregate in battleground states. He's winning in aggregate at the national level. The betting markets all favor him. And Kamala Harris is spiraling. Of course. Take into consideration the shadow campaign, and maybe we really have no idea. All I can say is y'all better go out and vote. Now, I will also report out here in West Virginia, you've got massive lines for early voting. So Serge, he produces Timcast IRL, said that he was checking out early. He saw the early voting line over in Jefferson County. It was massive. And I said, yo, those people ain't going out and voting Kamala Harris. This is MAGA country, right? Okay, I'm sorry, mega country. People are coming out in droves for Donald Trump. I don't know what that means. But if you think, my friends, that Trump won because you're hearing things like this, then he loses. So you better go out and vote. Not kidding. Tell your friends to vote. Get everybody to vote. You got to go vote. Take a look at this. They say with just 10 days to go before the 2024 presidential election, polling suggests the contest is too close to call. that ignores all historical precedent and is an absurdity. With some models pointing towards a victory for Kamala Harris, while others suggest Donald Trump will secure a second term in the White House. The latest analysis of recent polls by 538 published Friday gives Harris a 1.4 lead over Trump in the popular vote with 48% of the vote against 46.6. However, they predict Trump as the favorite with a 53% chance to win. I am going to break down this manipulation for all of yous, and I'm gonna show you where we're currently at. Real Clear Politics national average. This time in 2020, Joe Biden was up 7.8 points. As of right now, in the RCP average, Donald Trump has 0.1. Okay, not a very big number, I got to tell you, but that shows, based on all of these polls, that it is R0 to 1 favoring the Republicans. It is a Republican advantage. What does that mean? Well, we'll send it over to our good friend Nate Silver. Now, Nate Silver says, if you look at the actual math here, give me a moment, it's actually only a 3-point lead for Donald Trump. Well, actually, it's more like a 6-point lead because it's 53 to 46. But he's saying, I don't know, it's still a toss-up. He goes on to say that national polls don't matter all that much, but let me show you another forecast model that he has. And we just had it for a second ago, but we're getting there. How big is the electoral college bias? He says the chance Harris or Trump will win the presidency and their predicted number of electoral votes at different popular vote margins. Okay, so if it is popular vote R to 1, what does that mean? That means that Donald Trump is currently at 0.1, which would be R0 to 1. Harris's win probability is 1.7. That gives Donald Trump a win probability of 98.3% with an average of 307.3 electoral votes. Well, we don't do fractional electoral voting right now based on the RCP aggregate, which 538 doesn't agree with. I don't care. If you were to look at these independently, let me phrase it like this. Your choice. Do you trust Nate Silver's aggregate polling? He says, we're not going to include this one. We're not going to include that one. 530 does the same thing. Say, no, that poll's no good. You can't be in. Real Clear Politics also does the same thing. Say, well, we got these polls. We got that polls. I think mostly RCP just says all the polls. We aggregate it all. I believe that's the best path towards eliminating bias because everybody thinks they're the better polls. All these Democrat pundits are just like, well, that one's too Republican leaning, yeah, but they're all Democrat leaning. Let's take a look at the number. 98.3% chance for Trump to win. It's meaningless because if y'all don't go out and vote, seriously, everybody needs to go vote. Trump loses. You're going to end up sitting back being like, he won. I'm satisfied. And then Kamala wins. And you're like, how did that happen? It's because you didn't go vote. Every vote matters right now. You know why? Trump needs to win the popular vote. That is the most important factor. So I tell you this, my friends, if you are sitting at home, sipping on a Mountain Dew and eating Doritos, and you're like, who cares? I live in a blue state anyway. Wrong. Let me tell you why. Search deep within your soul. I can see the yearning and the desire within to see memes of Democrats banging on tables and screaming. You all loved it when that lady dropped to her knees and went, no. She was a bit more enthused. I'm not going to scream. But if you want to see a rebuke of woke garbage, every blue state voter has to go vote. If Donald Trump wins the popular vote, he wins the presidency, the Electoral College. If the Republicans win the Senate and the House, it sends a strong message to every single woke Democrat, corrupt crony, neo-lib, neocon. You are on the wrong side of history and you're done. And it's done in a way that it's not marching through the streets, smashing windows like the far left does. They go out and they say, you're on the wrong side of history, man. The whole world is watching. Yeah, pretty sure the people going around smashing and destroying things aren't the right side of history. Granted, history is written by the victors, so if you don't do anything and you sit back and do nothing, well, then congratulations, those people win. But here's what matters. If you are in a blue state and you think, what's the point? This. Popular vote victory. Send a strong message. I know there's 10 million of you in California and a bunch are like, I ain't voting. What's the point? We're going Democrat anyway. You got to go tell all those people. If you know anybody like that, we need the popular vote victory. That means every Republican voter in California needs to vote. That way, all of these woke people, you know what's going to happen? If Trump wins the Electoral College but not the popular vote, they're going to say he cheated. They're going to say he cheated. It's not fair. The system is broken. Take that away from them. Votes. Trump wins popular vote. Trump wins Electoral College. I don't know if he will. These polls could be all wrong. No idea what's going to happen. But if he does win everything, it is all of us together saying outright, we reject your psychotic ideology. We refuse. And then you know what's going to happen? Big business is going to say, guys, this is a strong rebuke of these ideas and we better not entertain them because we're going to lose out. Hollywood's already having a problem with woke movies. Don't give them any more. Don't give them reason to say we should make more of this woke garbage. They ruined the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Many of you probably don't care, but hey. Well, take a look at this over at 538. They've increased Trump's probability. 53 out of 100 victories to Harris's 47 out of 100 with 3 ties. Trump is now favored to win with a projection of 312 to 313 electoral votes. That's where they're resting. That is the edge, but it's no guarantee. Polymarket, of course, which is the betting odds, says Trump is at 64%. Just betting odds. If Trump wins by a single vote, the betting odds pay out for Trump. So people who are betting on Trump, this doesn't mean he's going to win with 64% of the vote. It means 64% of people making bets think Trump is going to win the vote. Of course, if we jump over to Predict It, 61 cents for Donald Trump, 44 for Kamala Harris. Oh, boy. And then in the betting odds over at RCP, it's 60.7 for Trump, 38.3 for Harris. It's incredible. Trump is winning the battlegrounds. Trump is winning nationally. But the most important thing I can say to y'alls is ignore the noise, ignore the hype, ignore all of it, and go vote. Democrats will try to demoralize you while riling up their base to go vote. Republicans are going to try and do the same thing. Say, you got to go vote. Democrat, you can't win. None of it matters. The polls don't matter. The predictions don't matter. You know what? Let's just say whatever. Follow whatever you want to follow. I'm telling you right now, if you want to see Trump win, you go vote. Now, there was a concerning ruling from the Fifth Circuit, it's out of Mississippi, where they said ballots received after Election Day are if counted, it's a violation of federal law. Now, this is a Fifth Circuit Court ruling, and we've got something big coming. If Donald Trump narrowly wins, that means in the wee hours of the coming days, Democrats will try and pull out mail-in votes and say, aha, look at this. In 2020, Trump won on Election Day. On the Election Day as prescribed by the Constitution and Congress, Trump won. But then they said, we have more ballots to count. We have to count them at 3 a.m. And then, of course, Biden won. And everybody knows the graph where Biden jumps up at 3 a.m. They said, look at all the ballots that we just put in the system. According to this new ruling, a large portion, I don't know about all of them, some of them may have been received before Election Day, counted afterwards, but ballots received after Election Day in the garbage, which means there's a scenario where Trump wins on Election Day And then in the wee hours of the morning, Kamala Harris gets just enough votes to win. We cannot let that happen. That means you got to swamp the vote. Everyone's got to vote no matter what. I don't care if you're in a red state or a blue state. People in red states like, who cares? Trump's going to win the state anyway. No, go vote. Popular vote matters. Yeah, but I live in a blue state. Trump's not going to win anyway. No, go vote. Congress matters. If Trump doesn't win the House and it's a toss-up, they're going to impeach him in 2 seconds. But I digress. What happens if Kamala Harris ends up winning at 3 a.m? Republicans sue. Supreme Court says those ballots were received after Election Day. They're disqualified. Democrats then say we can prove we won and Trump stole it. And then you get chaos. We don't want that. We want a clean sweep. We want Donald Trump to walk in and say, guys, it's over. Let's fix this country. And that means go vote. Look, man, we are less than 10 days away. It's getting crazy out there. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Become a member at timcast.com. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you all. I don't know if we're going to have any more segments for the rest of the day. Maybe, but either way, we'll have more stuff on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all then.